Hey YouTube, this is Southern Purple One. I want to talk about another power box, and having a backup power supply is probably right behind having a backup potable water supply. A lot of people have taken care of the water supply by having a filter or storing water, but having electricity in an emergency, be it a grid down situation or be it just, you had an ice storm come through and took out the power lines. The infrastructure of the United States electrical grid is getting worse and worse. We're not putting the billions of dollars we need to into the system to maintain it. And they're worried actually about this winter. If it gets extremely cold, there will not be enough electricity to meet demand. So having a backup power supply. Now, this type of system is not designed to power your whole house. It's to give you some emergency lights. You can run your refrigerator on it, and you can definitely keep your phone charged and your computer charged. It has a limitation, but let's go through this one. This is a VToman. They have other units out there. This is the first time I've played with their equipment. This was sent to me absolutely free. I do not charge them anything for a video, and I get paid nothing for a video. I do get to keep the equipment, which is a great blessing for me and other people that I let have this equipment when I'm done using it. This particular one is called the FlashSpeed 1500. It weighs about 41.4 pounds. That's important because a lot of elderly people that contact me and say, Dave, I can't lift a lot. But this is one where if you have two people, you can pretty easily move it, even if you're elderly, by these two nice big handles. I like the handles because they're big enough to get your hand in there and get hold of them. Some are so small you can't get your hand in here. So this one has a LiFePO4 battery, and that's what we're looking for. And the capacity of the battery is 1,548 watt hours. This system's designed to have 3,000 cycles, and then it will reduce its power by 80%. So technically, this thing should last you about 10 years before you'd have to replace it by using it on a constant basis. Do I recommend using it every day? No, I get it out once a month, once every couple months, use the thing, make sure it works, and then put it away. This does have a pure sine wave, and that's what we're looking for. This has the ability to charge it in a few different ways. First of all your charging ports are right here. You can charge it with an Anderson type connection, and this charges at 1,500 watts. This is incredible. So technically, in about an hour off of grid power or your generator, you can charge it in 1 hour. The importance of this is, if you do not have any sun today, I have no sun. Yesterday, I had so much sun. I had great solar. Today, it's not that good because of the serious overcast. So, realistically, I could hook this up to my little generator and charge it in 1 hour. And that's what you're looking for, because that will save me fuel. You can also charge it with your cigarette lighter in your car. This is very, very slow. I don't recommend this, but if you're traveling from point A to point B, you might as well top off your machine. We also have the ability to charge with solar. This will accept 400 watts of solar input to it. So realistically, you could charge this anywhere 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. It totally depends on what you're putting in here, what your conditions outside, how much sun you got. So definitely can be charged in 1 day, and that's important. Now, if you are charging this and you're using a glass panel or portable panel, sometimes it's best to go outside every hour or two and readjust your panel, especially in an emergency where you have to have power in this at nighttime. Adjusting that panel, getting maximum angle to the sun, positioning it better every hour or two makes a huge difference, I have found. So this machine is expandable. Over here, it has a port where you can get the expandable battery and double your watt hours. So you can take it from 1,548 watt hours to 3,096 watt hours. I have not tested the expandable battery, so I really can't comment on it. I did learn, though, that you have to charge the expandable battery through the main unit. So if you're using solar and you're charging it at 400, it's going to take you double. So it might be impossible to charge this totally off of the sun in one single day. but you'd still have a lot more capability there. The neat thing about this is it has a light on the back, a very bright light. It has different high, low, medium. It has a strobe. So having that light is important, because if you need a little bit of light, you're using that battery directly to the light, so you're not running through your AC inverter. I have found if you just leave this on without anything pulling it, you're going to lose about 2% every hour. That's why you probably see it's at 98%. It's been on for about an hour. So if you have to turn this machine off, make sure you turn it off. When you put it away especially, you might want to go back and check it, make sure it is off. So this machine has everything you need outlet-wise. You have your 12-volt cigarette lighter. You have all your USB. You have your USB-C, which is 100 watts, which is very quick. And then you have your 3 AC plugs down here. This also has an extra feature here where you can jump start or charge a battery. So your car is dead. Now, the attachments for that does not come with the unit, but you can buy that separately. But that could be a great feature if you need to jump your car off and it's not working. This has the feature of being a UPS, uninterrupted power supply. So if you're looking for that, most of the preppers I know really don't need that. But the nice thing about that is it has that pass-through capability. So pass-through is the ability to be charging the unit and using the unit, and that is a must. Do not look at any unit that you cannot pass through and use at the same time. Most of the ones that don't have that feature are really small ones. But if you're looking for a bigger unit, most of them do have the pass-through, and it has the ability to use the UPS feature if that's important to you. Many preppers say it's not important to them. One thing I found on this unit is you cannot charge with a solar panel and grid power at the same time, or you cannot charge with solar panel and a generator at the same time. The one thing that makes that okay in my book is because of the 1500. If you're running it off your generator, you're going to be charging an hour anyways, or off the grid, because it's such a high charge rate of 1500 watts being put into this. Now, there is no app. To me, I'm very happy. I don't want an app on there. I don't want Wi-Fi. Some people like that feature. A lot of those apps give you a little bit more control, so you can do more things. I don't want that personally on my unit, but many people are techie and they like to mess with it. So no app, no Wi-Fi on this feature. The one thing I want to make sure you know about this is this has a 1500 watt inverter in it, 1500 watts. If you pull more than 1500 watts, it has a feature in it that will drop the voltage to give you more watts. Now, this is great if you're using lights, if you're using like a heater, a plug-in heater, but I would not recommend a plug-in heater, because if you plug a heater into that, and I've done many tests with this unit, running it off of a standard just plug-in little heater, and it pulls so much juice, you only get about an hour of heat out of it, and then your unit is dead. So it's not recommended to heat your home with these, and really with any unit, just because of the draw. So if you go over the 1500 watts, pulling it out of this box, it's going to drop your volts, increase your watts, instead of just shutting off. You do not want to go over 1500 watts and using computer equipment plugged into this, or refrigerator plugged into it. That's more sensitive pieces of equipment, does not like that change of voltage. So manually just keep an eye on it and make sure you stay under 1500 watts. With a unit this small, typically people are going to stay under that, because if you draw at 1500 watts and it's only a 1548 watt hour unit, you're less than an hour. I did some tests on this on the AC efficiency, and it depends how you test the AC efficiency. If you put like a 500 watt load out in it, or if you put a 1200 watt, it's going to be different. But I got between 82, 83, 84, depending on how much I pulled out at a certain amount of wattage. So it's very efficient. It's right in there with most of the average boxes this size and this price. This unit comes with a panel that they make specifically for this, if you go ahead and buy that route. this panel is an excellent panel. It's huge. If I had to use this every day in an emergency, I would take a piece of plywood or some wood and I would put it behind it and give it some rigid. So it'd be easier for me to position it to the sun. It folds up, as you can see, a fourth of this size. This panel is extremely efficient. It's rated at 400 watts, and I was in the 360s yesterday, and that's typical of this panel, so it's very efficient. A lot of folding panels aren't this efficient, but they did a great job on this one. I like the use of these grommets, so you could tie it, or in my case, I would take a 4x8 sheet of plywood and put some screws carefully through these grommets with a washer, and that way I can move it easier and it won't have this slight bend. This slight bend does not do anything, doesn't create a problem. It has some supports on the back, but for a long-term emergency, giving it some support would make it easier for one person to keep maneuvering it, because if the sun was out and in an hour I would move this thing slightly in whatever direction the sun is going towards, and it will definitely change it. And what I recommend is adjusting this, watching your machine, seeing how many volts, or excuse me, how many watts you're putting in to get the max. Now, this panel comes with MC4 connections, and it comes with this adapter, and this adapter is made for different machines. So I find that very useful if I wanted to use it on a different machine, but it has the standard Anderson. I plug this right into here, and I will power the unit. So right now, because we're so close to or to the holidays and to the sales, I think for the next day or two, they're offering a special. I will put the codes in there. I think with the code and their discount right now, and it's going to, I think, expire tomorrow, is $748. The combined unit with their set of panels is like $1,400, and I'll leave you a code. Now, with the holidays coming up, this price could drop even further. I don't know. They don't tell me that. But for $748 with the discount, that puts this about 50 cents a watt hour, which is an extremely great deal at 50 cents a watt hour. Their panel's a little expensive because it's folding. So if you can get away with not using folding panels and you can use the solid glass panels, you don't have any restrictions like a homeowners association, or you're in a condo or a townhouse where you don't have any space, I would recommend solid glass panels. First of all, they're going to be more efficient, they're going to be a little cheaper, and they're going to be waterproof, so you can let them get wet. You don't have to worry. That panel, I wouldn't want to get wet every day, that is for sure. I like to protect it. But if you need convenience, that can fold up, slide under your bed very easily. So it depends your needs. So I'll put those codes in there. If you got any questions, let me know. If you're looking at powering your house with a little bit of solar, or for an emergency, send me an email to southernprepper1@yahoo.com. Southernprepper, just the number 1@yahoo.com. And we can talk on the phone and find out what is the best machine for you. This is a great machine, but it might not be what you need. If you got to power multiple refrigerators or freezers, this is a little bit small for that. But there is a machine out there to meet your needs, and to spend your hard-earned money, we need to make sure you get the right one for your needs. So go check them out. I'll put the links in the description and the first pinned comment. Thanks for watching.